welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about some practical tips to improve your English fluency, which are based on my personal experience. A lot of you have asked me before how I have reached this point wherein I am now speaking English confidently and that I am fluent when it comes to speaking in English, and how I have improved my English communication skills. So there were so many questions about those things, and today I'm going to address them. So keep watching. What I'm going to tell you today are all based on my personal experience, because I already have a lot of videos about how to improve your English fluency, how to be confident in speaking in English, and I'm going to link some of the playlists up here so that you can check them out after this video. I'm going to focus on English fluency, and again, not on having perfect grammar or pronunciation. I've actually talked about that on my previous video. If you haven't watched it yet, I've addressed some comments on my comments section about my grammar, my accent, and the way I speak. And today, to those of you who are asking, I just want to give you the premise that if you're not from the Philippines, you should know that here in the Philippines, we have English as our medium of instruction as early as we're young or we're in kindergarten. But now, I know that with the new curriculum from grades 1 to 3, kids are taught how to speak our mother tongue or the vernacular language. But during my time, as early as nursery, because I followed the traditional curriculum from nursery to kindergarten 1 and then 2 before I was enrolled to grade 1 to 6 and then high school and then college. So as early as nursery, our medium of instruction was already English, and we were taught that language. It has become one of our national languages. That is why a lot of Filipinos speak really good English and are fluent in that language. I understand that a lot of my viewers also come from, let's say, South America or other countries that are still learning how to speak English, the English language. And I want to motivate you and encourage you that there is really a huge chance that you will learn the English language as long as you're open and you're positive and you really are willing to learn it. And I believe that it is really a good advantage if you learn the language, because it can help you be more competitive in the workplace and in the global scene. So let's talk about how I got to improve my English communication skills and my fluency. First, let's define what fluency means. Fluency in a language means speaking easily, reasonably quickly, and without having to stop and pause a lot. It is also the ability to express oneself easily and articulately. It is the ability to speak or write a foreign language easily and accurately. Actually, a lot of English language learners find it hard to continue learning English because they focus too much on having the perfect grammar and pronunciation, when in fact, you can focus on being conversational when you speak the English language. Grammar and pronunciation will follow as long as you just learn one day at a time. The first thing that I did to improve my English fluency is to talk to myself a lot. This did not even come intentionally. I did not tell myself that I should talk to myself a lot so that I'd improve my English communication skills. It's just that it happened so naturally, and it's good because I was able to indeed improve my English fluency because of this. It might sound funny and weird because why are you telling me to talk to myself a lot? Even when I was still in the BPO industry as a lead trainer, I would always tell my trainees to talk to themselves in English, especially when they are in the classroom, because that is one way for you to become confident with the English language. And how does it help? It's, of course, because no one is going to tell you what to say or what to do. You're going to correct yourself in the process. And when you talk to yourself and you feel that, I think that did not sound right, I have to look it up. At least for me, that was what I did. If, for example, I say something like a statement and I feel that it did not sound right, I will repeat it until I master that statement. And that statement will now be part of my language bank. The next time where I need to use that statement for something, I'd be able to use it perfectly. And I'd also be able to correct myself, because since I'm talking to myself, then why not just look it up online as well and correct myself in the process? This is the best practice that you can do for yourself. No need to find a partner, a language or an accountability partner. You can do it yourself. Your partner is you. You can even look at the mirror while you are speaking, just so you know how you look when you speak or how your mouth opens. Now, you don't have to be technical about it. You just have to enjoy the process. I'm pretty sure that I have received some weird stares here and there before, when I would always talk to myself, like when I'm waiting for a vehicle, going home, or when I'm in public places. But who cares? These people did not know me at all, so there's really no reason to worry. No, go ahead and try it. Speak to yourself a lot. I always do that until now. When I wake up, before I go to sleep, that's because I can hear my thoughts loud and clear, and it really does help. The second thing that I want to talk about that really improved my communication skills is that I read a lot. I also read a lot when I was younger. I was given the tools to read a lot as well. For example, my parents bought me encyclopedia, dictionaries, books. I even remember this specific book. It's not even a storybook. It's an herbal book with plants from A to Z, and I would always read it every single day when I was young. It contained scientific names and all the other information or details about the plants from A to Z. And that was one way for me to learn how to speak in English, to communicate in English, and to learn more words in English. I would also, according to my mom, would read different signs along the road when we're commuting or when we're going someplace else, when we're traveling. It's also one way for you to improve your vocabulary. You don't have to be just constricted in an actual book, but you can go out of that actual book and read. You will really know that a lot of people do not read anymore these days. Just look at the Facebook comment section. People just read the headlines and don't even bother to read the entire article before commenting. So I suggest you go back to reading. It doesn't mean just read a book. There are so many articles, so many educational tools online. We are in an era where you can just search for your favorite ebook online. A lot of them are also free. What can it do for you? First of all, it can help you improve your vocabulary. When I was young, my mother bought me a thesaurus, and whenever I would read a book and there's something that I did not understand, I would always check it using the thesaurus. Now I still do it whenever I'm reading. It's just that there's no more thesaurus because it's just one Google away. And why don't you do it yourself too? With reading, you get to explore different stories you resonate with, that you can relate with those stories, so that the next time that you need to speak something about your experience, you remember the stories that you've read from the book, and then you can relate it to your statements. You also get to observe different sentence constructions, how people or how the authors would tell their stories. And that is something that you can also apply in your day-to-day language or your day-to-day conversations with people. You may quote some lines or some statements that you found from the book, but you don't have to copy them. You just have to learn how to construct the sentences. And by reading a book or books, you will learn those things. The third thing that I want to share is that my mindset was always, I will speak English whenever possible. As early as elementary, high school, and even college, I would always take the opportunity to speak in English whenever I could. For example, recitations, reportings, speaking with professors, with teachers. I would speak English whenever I could, just because I want to learn and I want to be confident with speaking the language. If you're watching this and you're still a student, your school is the best place for you to start speaking in English. Then again, you might be scared that your classmates or anyone might judge you because you're speaking in English. If you keep thinking about what other people will say about you, you will never learn. You will never move forward in your life. It is time for you to start having an intentional mindset. If you want to be good in English and you want to be confident in speaking the language, you have to have the mindset that I have to practice intentionally every single day. Whether you are here in the Philippines or you are a new English language learner, it is never too late to learn the language. And I assure you that it can help you once you are already in the workplace and if you want to be competitive in the global scene. Next thing is that I write a lot. Our brain can only remember so much. So when you try to remember everything, then you will just end up forgetting a lot of what you're trying to remember. So always have a paper, a notebook handy. You can even have an online platform like a blog where you can express your feelings, your emotions, or whatever you want to say. Aside from that, the way you write translates to the way you speak. If you practice writing in English, it will also translate to you being able to speak the English language well. And I think that that really helped me growing up because I would always write in English. Always in English. Which is why I think that I was able to practice my English speaking skills as well, because I think and write in English and then I speak in English. It doesn't help if you write in Tagalog or Filipino or your vernacular language and then translate it to English. It will not sound right at all. In fact, I still write a lot until now. I have a personal blog, I have so many diaries and journals where I write to express my thoughts and my emotions, and I believe that that will never stop until I grow older, because that is just one way for me to improve and to express. These are also ways for you to not worry about whether people will judge your writing or will judge your English language. It's just you and your paper. And you're also able to correct yourself on your own and ask people to correct your statement if you like. But if you don't want other people to read what you've written, then it's also okay. The last thing, the fifth one that I want to tell you is I engage in a lot of activities that require me to use English as my language. For example, in my YouTube channel, you will find me speaking in English in every single video that I have, except the first probably 2 videos that I have on this channel. But this is also my way to continue to become more confident in speaking the English language. I am getting used to speaking on camera in English and then publishing it for people to see, for people to provide me feedback on and whatever comments they like about the way I speak. Although it is not my main goal for creating this YouTube channel, this has also become my way to be more confident in speaking with you, in facing you and speaking with you using the English language. Aside from that, I also worked in the BPO industry. I started as a telephone banker, and of course I had to speak in English because our customers are mainly Americans. I was able to increase or develop my confidence when speaking the English language. And then again, it's not the main goal of working in the BPO or the call center industry. It just translates to a sideline. Your main goal obviously is to get a job, but then while you're there and you spend so much time in the BPO industry, you also get to learn the language and be confident in it. And eventually, when you decide to move on to a different career, you will still be able to bring that learning with you. I also worked as a lead trainer for almost 7 years, and obviously I had to speak English because I was in the BPO industry. That also helped me improve and helped me correct my mistakes because I had mentors, I had my managers, I had coaches who would always provide me proper feedback when it comes to my English communication skills. So if you want to improve your English communication skills, then be intentional and look for ways or activities that can help you improve. Like, make it your goal and make it part of your lifestyle. I hope I was able to provide you some tips in this video, and always remember that it's never too late to learn the language. Be intentional, and if you want to learn more about improving your English communication skills, I have so many playlists and videos about those things. I'll link it up there so that you can check it out after this video. As usual, if you like this content, please like, subscribe if you haven't yet, tap the bell for notifications, and share this with people you think can benefit from this video. See you again on my next video. Take care and bye.